your local Weather Authority forecast.
It's a bit of a cloudy morning across the basin, but that rain activity very few and far between. This is a live look at Odessa early on your Wednesday morning. Still dark out there. We're under night vision. That's why we're seeing the black and white colors, city lights, and the lighter, whiter colors because of the soon-to-be rising sun, highlighting loud clouds. And some of these clouds have been producing some rain, but pretty good visibility right now in downtown Odessa. Satellite and radar did show some thunderstorms that did impact near Andrews, now moving well off the south and west and dissipating southwest of Midland and Odessa. Some light rain showers moving near Garden City and now through Reagan County, just south now of Big Spring. It's because of a weak frontal boundary moving from north to south that we're seeing the muggier conditions and also that rain activity in the center part of the basin now moving closer to Big Lake and through San Angelo and Abilene. The same frontal boundary continuously moving south and east. That's also pushing Hurricane Idalia, which is about to make landfall off to the east within 10 to 20 miles of landfall. A strong Category 3 storm right now with current winds sustained at 125 miles per hour. Central pressure climbing a little bit right now at 125 miles per hour sustained winds. The central pressure at 949 millibars and about to make landfall as a strong Category 3. Previously a Category 4 storm as within the next hour or so. Making landfall, those yellows, oranges, and reds moving north and east and impacting much of Florida and Georgia. Storm surge in the Gulf Coast. Meanwhile, tornadoes, heavy rain, and strong wind gusts barreling through the southeast part of the United States later today. Still even a Category 1, Category 2 storm at winds sustained 100 miles per hour or so later this morning and throughout the afternoon. Here in the basin, we'll see some rain, but not nearly as much rain as the southeast, partly to mostly clear. 72 now in the Tennessee with a relative humidity of 59% and a northerly breeze at 7 miles per hour. Northerly winds courtesy of that weak cold front moving through. That's why it's in the low to mid 60s from Hobbs, Andrews, and Seminole. High 60s, lower 70s from Midland, Odessa to Big Spring. A little bit cooler also in places like Marfa and Alpine. The low to mid 60s, temperatures at or slightly below normal to start. Heating up to close to normal criteria this afternoon. The mid to upper 80s in the mountains. High 80s, lower 90s in northern areas. 92, 93 from Midland, Odessa to Big Spring. Average high 92, I think will be about a degree above that. Very sunny at 93 this afternoon. Sunny, very warm with light winds from the east-northeast. Will be a pretty nice day to enjoy the outdoors for a late summer's day in August here in the basin. In the way of any rain showers right now, a lot of that rain activity moving south in the Big Bend region this afternoon. That frontal boundary moving south and east with clear skies in northern areas. The second full moon will be the big story of the month tonight. That blue moon, that super moon. Low temperatures in the 70s with clear skies, not too bad with easterly winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll see pretty nice conditions tomorrow morning, but then sunnier and hotter tomorrow afternoon at 98 with southeasterly winds picking up those temperatures and also picking up that humidity in eastern areas of the basin from time to time. But it will be a little bit drier tomorrow compared to what we have been seeing across the basin. 93 today, 98 tomorrow, 99 on Friday. As we head to Labor Day weekend, we'll be in the high 90s and low triple digits. Make sure you guys stay cool and comfortable out there. Make sure you guys have the sunglasses. The dry trend continues and drought conditions continue to affect the basin, including infrastructure and specifically water main lines. This morning, Chief Meteorologist Chase Menendez sat down with the city of Midland to see what the plan is moving forward.
Heat is causing trouble for Midland's water main.
So the extreme drought mixed with the triple-digit weather we've been having for the last, seems like 6 weeks, it creates the ground to dry out. And once it dries out, it cracks and starts to move. The city has a lot of cast iron lines in the ground, and that cast iron does not like to move, so they've been breaking. We've been seeing probably 2.5 breaks a week for the last month.
The city of Midland tells us the recent rise in water main breaks is thanks to the drought.
It slowed down a little bit now that the weather's cooled off. It's in the 90s still, but it slowed down a little bit, but we're still getting at least one break a week this week.
When these lines break, luckily the city of Midland says their crews have got it covered. But if they don't, there is still a plan in place.
Our internal crews have been able to maintain the breaks, almost all of them. If we get overwhelmed, we tend to call out emergency contractors.
Not only that, but the city is also working on long-term solutions.
The city actually approved 2 projects lately to help us figure out the areas of town that we need to replace the pipes.
One of those is satellite leak detection. It's a system that allows the managers of underground water infrastructure to actually see the water that was leaking from their system.
So we're going to be using the technology they used on Mars to find water. So they're going to do satellite passes over the city and look for water signatures underground, chlorine water signatures, to show us where there may be some small breaks that haven't got through the ground yet.
As for those older pipes that continue to bust, there is also a plan to address that.
The city also approved $2 million a year for the next 5 years to replace all 4-inch cast iron and ductile iron lines in town.
We're told those improvements are going to take some time, but crews are keeping residents in mind while making the repairs.
This first project for 5 years are only the 4-inch lines, and then we're going to move to the 6 and 8-inch lines. But 4-inch lines are what feeds people's houses. It's the last line right before the house. So hitting those first to make sure that the lines providing water to the house is new, and then expanding out from there. So it's probably a 20-year project, but we're taking the first step.
And you can keep up to date on this developing story. Also, how the drought is affecting folks here in the basin by going to yourbasin.com. And don't forget to check in with our Chief Meteorologist, Chief Menendez, tonight at 5, 6, and 10 for the latest weather updates here in the basin.